next one. So you may be asking, why are you kidding me? Are you kidding that you're going to have something for spirituality? Does it need to be measured? What happens if we don't measure it? Like if we can stay as is, like if you don't, if you want to be the same person as you are today, if you're not knowing your progress, you may not know how to kind of go about improving your personality. If you don't know what is how everyday basis, what are you doing to improve yourself? If you don't ask yourself, then you'll be the same person. So these are some of the KPIs. It's a list that kind of gathered from the writings of these people. It's a big list. I have just only given some things that I felt are important. There could be others as well. So Ahimsa, we'll go over one by one in detail. Ahimsa is one: duty, charity, empathy. Some gurus talk about different things, like specific gurus focus on empathy. For example, Valla focus a lot on empathy. Love and compassion, awareness, harmony, family and societal harmony. Maharishi focused a lot on this. Dealing with 6 temperaments, ego, almost all the saints talk about this. This is a big blocker for realization. Next one, please. Gratitude is another indicator. Forgetting things, forgiving. So these are the things that it can go on, but these are some of the things that can be indicators of where you are. In each of these, where are you? Will reflect your personality and your destiny. So Ahimsa, I mean, this is something you probably, you're coming to the meditation class here, like you know about this twofold moral culture that Maharishi is given in a simplified manner, which is, I in my lifetime will not cause harm to anyone, physically or mentally. I will render all possible help to those who are suffering. This is actually Ahimsa. In simplified, like 2 sentences, is given, right? So this twofold moral culture is applicable to anything you interact with the universe. It is can be a living thing or a non-living thing, a product that you use, everything it can be applied. It is a universal principle. It will stand the test of time. So anything, like for living, right? For living, when you're interacting with living beings, vegetarianism or veganism is kind of an ahimsic way of. Actually, in America, a lot of people are turning to be vegans, more better than Indians. They are trying to have more, what do you call, compassion to animals. Like the section of population growing, we've seen it grow. Non-violence in thought, word, and deed. So this is something that is a principle. Ahimsa can be applied to living beings. Where are you with in each of this? There's a question mark that you need to ask. Non-living things, how do we interact with other things in the universe, like the food that we eat, the chemicals that you use, and the products that you use for cleaning, products that you use for bathing. So these are examples, right? I mean, how you interact with your environment is all. If you cause harm to the environment, it is going to not be good for you. You can be doing other things really well. If you're not doing this, then you're causing harm to the society. Global warming is a result. So everything is connected. So it's not as if you have to live in harmony with the living beings. You have to live in harmony with everything around you, inanimate things. So this is a quote from Maharishi in the book World Order of Holistic Unity. There is no scarcity of providence in nature. All problems and pains are the result of man's aggressive nature and wrongdoings. So there's no problem in nature. It's just that the problem is in the mind. We only created those. So the only way to get rid of the problems is the reformation of the mind. Only that will change. That can change all these things. That can change how you live with the living beings. You can choose to not cause harm to any animals. You can choose to not cause your own society, just being your family and friends. You don't cause harm to them in thought, word, and deed. It's all in the mind. Similarly, what products you use, if you think that this product is going to cause harm to the society, you would think twice about it. Even if you buy this product for $2 more, you'll be you should feel satisfied that I'm not causing harm, I'm doing a good thing. So that is more than what else do you want in life? Is that you want happiness? Money is not going to buy you that, but if the product that you buy is kind of not causing harm to the society, that's something that's something up to you, right? You can do that. Those are small things that you can choose to do. And I think, at least in this country, there's a lot of opportunity to do that. I mean, the organic and sustainable product revolution is taking place. So there's opportunity to explore products that can be harmless. Duty. Maharishi puts it due to the society. His body is something that is just a gift from your parents, and also built by the labor of the society. It is giving you food for you to eat. Any morsel of food that you eat is a labor of a lot of people, farmers who work hard to kind of produce that. And even they are the most suffering people. I mean, the software engineers go to the office and make money and enjoy, but the farmers who work really hard are suffering. But the food that they prepare, they're eating. So what are we giving back to the society? It's not, you are not just alone here. And farmers give the food, it goes to the retail chain, it comes to you. So many people are working hard to get that. So you need to appreciate all the hard-earned labor that people are providing. Think of the unity among the society. So you have some kind of due back to the society, and you have to give that. So that's called duty. Yeah. And this is the second part of the twofold moral culture. Render all possible help to those who are suffering. That is charity. So we have some morality, duty, and the third one is charity. So whatever you can do starting from the thought force, you try to start helping people, and then use the physical body as well as financially. Whatever you can do to alleviate the suffering of people, that is charity. That has a direct consequence to your personality, more actually, because you're directly dealing with a person's suffering. And empathy is one step forward, is feeling your others' pain as yours. That is the beauty of like Vadalar. He felt the pain of others. That you have to feel that, and because then it means that you and the other person are one and the same. That is the state of ultimate state of realization you need to go towards. So if you feel that, that's empathy. That is something you need to strive for. If you don't have this, I don't remember a famous Thirukkural, maybe Titarapan knows about it, but if you don't have this, it is like your body is like covered with bones or something. Something beautiful quote is there. It's just useless. If you don't have empathy, there's no point in being a human being. So that's kind of a bold statement saints have made. So it's a very key performance indicator. Charity and empathy is a very, very important one, because this is the ultimate, right? If you don't see anybody as others, there's no point in doing meditation. There's no point in doing puja. There's nothing. All are useless. do not have this mentality. At least if you cannot do, you should have it in your mind, right? That you should do. Okay, I just put an ad for this in the middle. So we have charity events going on as part of this meditation center. We are organizing this food drive in partnership with Food Bank of North Carolina. So please feel free to whatever you want to do, we will collect it. Enough on this. This is just a charity thing we're doing. The next key performance indicator is awareness. Awareness is we do a lot of thing about awareness in Sky Meditation Center. Maharishi has really worked on this for several years and given simplified Kundalini Yoga. That's really a great technology for bringing about awareness. Awareness is silencing the mind, reducing the mental frequencies, so that you have the opportunity to do other things, like opportunity to not cause harm to anybody. You cannot do that if you are not aware. First thing is to be aware. Then only you can then only you will know that whether you're causing harm or not. Right? You can be an observer. You can at least know what you're doing. For that, awareness is important. To bring about awareness, control of the senses is important. Like if you don't control your senses, the mind will spend time on something else, not on watching yourself. It's like watching you, becoming a watchman. Basically, awareness is becoming a watchman. So awareness leads to all these things. If you maintain awareness, you will get perspicacity, which is nothing but looking at things in depth, analyzing a situation. You will be able to know in detail, go into it, and understand what's going on. And you'll be able to receive things from others. You'll be receptive to new things. You don't shut the door. You're like open-minded. Magnanimity is like you want to give. Start giving. Give your wisdom. Give your whatever you can. Like this is kind of stepping stone for charity. Family and societal harmony. This is one of the famous quotes of Maharishi. For harmony in family and society, do not comment, command, and demand. Follow adjustment, tolerance, and sacrifice. That is one of the famous quotes of Maharishi. So this is and the harmony is an indicator, because if you're not harmony with your family, you're not moving in your spiritual progress anywhere. Even if you want to be peaceful, if your family is not in a good state, you will not get there. So you will have to work towards that. You can even sacrifice a lot of things for that. You don't have to do it in meditation. This is important to maintain. This is important. First, this needs to be taken care of, because we are living within the family structure. We have to grow in spirituality within the structure.
Can you explain the do not comment?
Do not comment? Do not comment is basically criticizing people, right? Just basically avoid criticizing people. Negative commenting, right? Influencing and improving is one different thing. But if you know that, that's all. Like awareness will give you that thing. Like if you do something negative, it is as powerful to bring you down, right? So that's why. That's typically in a family setting. Of course, in a work environment, you have to kind of for doing the duty, you will have to kind of provide feedback. But that also can improve, and if you improve your personality, that also can will change. You will notice changes in how you interact with people, and how people interact with you, and how people start to respect you for what you are, because you will start showing all these good qualities that will start in return, some way. If somebody in the office environment who's having a conflict with you, slowly the conflict will resolve, or the person will go somewhere, or you go somewhere. Right? Something nature will try to kind of protect you and take you in the right direction. So it's a great thing.
Even to do those things, you need certain kind of awareness and willpower.
Yes.
Like you need to be aware that you are being critical and you are being rude, or and then to hold that, like noticing that you are going to, get angry on the children or somewhere, then that not to get angry.
Correct.
Takes work.
It takes work, of course. It takes work. It goes hand in hand. Like meditation is one thing, it gives you the strength. But if you go and at the end of the day, you kind of look back and say, what have I done to people today? And in a calm state of mind, you tell yourself that I think this is not going to help me or the other person. I will not get angry at this person. Suggested more times, and it's called superimposition technique. You tell the same thing, then whenever you get angry with the person again, that thought will come and kind of, hey, whenever the anger thought comes, this thought also will come. Because I'll come and tell you, hey, you made out a suggestion. How strong that is, then it will prevent you from exhibiting that thought. It will prevent you from exhibiting the anger. So it takes time and practice. Maharishi has said, I think some 21 days or something, if you practice this, you will not get angry with that person. So you have to try it out.
That's part of the other course.
Yeah, there will be taught in courses, but anyway, this is simple, right? You can go and kind of try it out. Like just write down the person's and angry and tell that I will not get angry with this person. He's important to me, and if I get angry, this will happen. Understand the consequence and what is the use of any anger, and then tell repeatedly, and you get angry.
So auto suggestion,
The auto
like the
suggestion.
other one you gave.
Yeah. So another indicator is how are you dealing with this 6 temperaments, the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsya, right? So greed, anger, miserliness, immoral sexual passion, inferiority and superiority complex, and vengeance. How are you dealing with it? Everybody is coming from evolution, evolutionary process. They have one thing or the other. We can't say anybody who's here without one of these things. Something will be there. So because evolution has that process, evolution has it. So we'll have to look and see where our deficiencies are, and these are things that will pull you down in your spiritual progress. So how good are you in kind of managing these things? It will indicate, will make a spiritual progress better or worse. Because if these things are not controlled, what will rise? Ego will rise. If these things are only mellowed down, the last thing that will go away is ego. It will stay with you until the end. So these things will have to be controlled. That will take you to the place. And this one is another quote by Maharishi. Very beautiful written. Worry is a mental disease based on wrong calculations. So basically, it terms it as a mental disease. So do not worry about it. Either postpone some things, or something that has to be taken care of immediately. Take care of it, but just do not keep it. It is not going to help you. So that's basically living in the present. So this is the ultimate thing, right? If you have to work all the other things, so can stay till the end. Ramana Maharshi called as erase the ego. This is one of his famous statements. But this is the one that will, we have to work on others. Automatically this will reduce, but you'll have to watch out for this. Only when you are able to assess everything and work on everything, this will go away on its own. You will dissolve with Almighty. So you don't have to do anything for other than just kind of work on above. This will take care of itself. basically the mask will be gone until so basically we until all the things that we talked about we work upon it, the mask will still remain. We are kind of almighty. The difference between almighty and us is those things that we talked about. So when we kind of remove those impurities, then what will remain is this. This is always there. This is always there. Our own compassion. It always oozes out. It's everywhere. It's the space or the connotation is everywhere. So it is within you as well. When you unmask all the impurities, the love and compassion will come out without any break. It will come and sweep things around you, right? Like, that will be the power. So this is the statement. I really love this poem. This is written by Valladar before he merged with the Almighty. So this one I really love a lot. And read it. If people don't know Tamil, I will explain it now. நினைந்து நினைந்து உணர்ந்து உணர்ந்து நெகிழ்ந்து நெகிழ்ந்து அன்பே நிறைந்து நிறைந்து ஊற்றெரும் கண்ணீர் அதனால் உடம்பு நனைந்து நனைந்து அருள் அமுதே நன்னிதியே ஞான நடத்தரசே என்னுரிமை நாயகனே என்று வணைந்து வணைந்து தேத்தும் நாம் வம்மின் உலகிலீர் மரணமிலா பெருவாழ்வில் வாழ்ந்திடலாம் கண்டீர் புனைந்துரையேன் பொய் புகழேன் சத்தியம் சொல்கின்றேன் பொற்சபையில் சிற்சபையில் உன் தருணம் இதுவே. So when your mask is gone, you are with that state. It's called ecstasy. At that state, you are really kind of you're in with the Almighty, right? What he's expressing the feeling of ecstasy in words, which is not easily describable. What he's saying is that you will really burst out with tears. And then with that, your body is kind of fully immersed in that feeling. That's what he's mentioning. See, your whole body and your whole existence is kind of oozes out of love and compassion. And then that is called Maranamila Peruval, means there's no birth for you after that. So you are becoming one with that. You ooze with love and compassion, and there's nothing after that. That's the cycle of birth and that completes your timeless. So you merge with the Almighty. That's the meaning of this. This is an example of a tree which is with its love, it is holding the mango, and it feeds with compassion until it's kind of on its own, right? So the tree feeds. It's like we have to be like that. Like we should hold things with love, people around us, and feed them with compassion. It is kind of doing it without any expectations. So when we become one with that kind of a state, we will be just like this, without any expectations. Give the love and then hold people together and then feed them with compassion, like a mother. The self is conquered. Stillness remains. You become one with the gravity. Basically, it is your nature of having love and compassion. You become one with them. When you become that, you are immeasurable. It's infinity. You are infinite. There is no need to measure. After that, there is nothing to measure. There is no ego. There is no nothing. You cannot be measured. There is no beginning. There is no end. You are that state. So it's like Vishnu and Brahma going to try to find out where the feet and where the head of Lord Shiva. You will be immeasurable. You become that. So let's put together a chart. Like forget about the numbers. Like main thing is yesterday you have full of ego. Today you also have ego. Tomorrow you started working on all these key performance indicators. Slowly, if you see, the ego will reduce, and then love and compassion, which is innate, will kind of increase. Finally, that will remain, and the ego will be gone, and you become timeless. So you have to kind of figure out where you are every time with all these key performance indicators. Slowly over time, ego will go away. I think that's pretty much the presentation. Be blessed for everyone. Any questions?
So morality you said, right? Like vegetarianism, veganism. So is that an indicator like moving from non-veg to veg, veg to vegan, or?
Yeah, that's a good indicator. Yes. Yeah, because even a lot of cruelty going on, even with animal product production. In India, back in the olden days, they were dealing with love and compassion. Right now, the animals are not dealt with that. There's a lot of cruelty. So any product also, right, that you use, like detergent or soap, they are being tested on animals. So those kind of things go under cruelty. So everywhere there is IMSA. So you have to choose based on based on your own self, whether it is good for you, and choose this. I'm not recommending anything. This is fact. Truth needs to be told, whether people like it or not. That's why they're bold enough to tell the truth. These things. It is hard to change, but there's a value in it. If you are really becoming a strong meditator and all these things, but if you go and kill something, that doesn't make any sense to me.
For example, scientists they use animals to test cancer. So that is the cruelty. They don't have. That's the only way they can do it. They want to find something.
It's not the only way. It is the way that the Western society knows about it. Our science. This. We can create a new thing based on not doing this. When you do Ayurveda or like those kind of ancient practices, they don't do a lot of cruelty.
I don't think we heard anywhere of Ayurveda doing a clinical study on mouse or anything. So
Yeah, I think at least in literature.
the literature from 3,000 years, it's probably 5,000 years old, but at least from 3,000 years, there are written scriptures.
So
Doesn't talk about clinical studies.
yeah.
No, and also in literature, few literature article I read that they said like the saints will pray to Almighty, they will get forgiveness from Almighty for Ayurveda when they are cutting the stem of the tree or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they did in that way, so it's not like going
Even
with
that
purity,
also,
right?
they say
Yeah,
plant
they
also-
consider the plant also as a living thing,
Living thing.
and they did prayers and all to.
Even the Native Americans do that, I think. And also some people, there was a scientific experiments on plants, they know you are going to eat them.
Right.
Like they really know when you are going to cut them. Or like there was a lie detector test done on a plant, like with, there was a guy who was, his profession was to do the lie detection. And then he had the equipment, he brought it home, and then suddenly he got an idea, why don't I do this test on that plant? He was sitting on. And then he brought the lighter and he hooked up the lie detector to the plant. And he tried, he thought, I would torch one of the leaves and see what he could read. And immediately that thought comes to his mind, the reader goes crazy. And then the minute he backs off, it calms down.
Oh.
The thought comes, so that was a real experiment. With the thoughts, we think no one knows, but then it's conveyed, even the thought is real.
Yes. They are also made of Panchabutas. It's just that you are a little bit evolved, so-called evolved, but they are really kind.
For example, when you cut even the curry leaves branch, you say, oh, sorry, kind of feeling, and you take it. That means you don't misuse.
You're interacting in respect and.
But Professor Ravinder mentioned something. This is even, not even we consider life, but for example, water, talking to the water with
Yeah.
love and compassion, the crystal was different. Kind of says
Yeah.
so much we are connected in the
That doesn't mean that we don't use the vegetables to eat, but we consume with gratitude because they know they are being used and they are actually giving themselves to us to nourish us and to nurture us.
Another perspective is, Maharishi said is that the effect of the imprints from the plant-based foods is very less because when you, let's say, cut the plant, the pain is not felt because it short circuits the ground. So the energy imprint doesn't stay with that plant; it goes to the ground. But when the same, but in the other way around, in animal's case, it is imprinted in the cells of them, and the suffering is there. So that karma.
More senses they have than the
Yeah,
plants.
yeah. Any other questions?
Regarding the charity, so are we concentrating only on the food side or?
Charity food is one example. There's a
No,
lot
no,
of
from
charity.
Sky, I'm asking.
We just started it, so we can. If there are more volunteering, then of course we can do more. The program can expand.
Clothes or something.
Yeah, there are a lot of things we can expand towards. We just started this recently, just a year so far. Again, inspired from Gino Cardina that teaches.
Is there a broader meaning to the charity? I mean, this is definitely straight away from the dictionary, but also if you are doing a business, you can make if you have a monopoly, you make a lot of money versus you consider that as a charity in the sense that you have the just price, you don't overprice it and make a lot of profit, but you see the other side as the receiving side as well and have the right price. And could that be as a part of charity mentality as well?
I think so, yeah, and other also is kind of conscious business
Yeah.
model. Like you, again, it's also maybe ahimsa also. You're really kind of trying to bring some equality there without impacting anybody. Maybe fair to your competitors, or if you're not treating competition, you're just trying to be good, connected with
Just want to say one thing here. One of the great saints, he said, taking care of family, like not just father, mother, but like other people around, is not necessarily considered charity. It's your duty. So if you take that.
Oh, charity is also duty, right? So
Charity is duty. That's duty to society. But like, for example, being fair in profession is expected of you. To go beyond that is charity. Is what if you want to put that context.
And charity, it's kind of cleans your dirty, cleans up your karma, So that is so one of the, while our emphasis is a lot on karma, because that cleans a lot, that takes you to this, when you look at the chart, right, it takes you closer. Along with all other practices, you do all these things, it will take you faster, because you are really having empathy on your fellow living beings.
I was wondering, like you said, first we need to work on, like the process was to be kind in thought, word and deed, and also be able to charity and then do other things, and then deal with the conquer or the and then finally the ego. But then isn't the opposite is easier? Like because I'm getting angry and I'm greedy, I'm selfish, but I'm trying to deal with it. I am because I think I am this. But when you think I am the body and I'm trying to control whatever I'm feeling, it's harder that way. But when I think I am not the body and I am the soul, and there is nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be selfish about, and doesn't that come faster to be kinder and to be generous?
It's kind of, there's no what do you call, hard and fast rule. It depends on the individual, but this is like more generalistic. You like, if you have awareness, it gives you a lot of strength to kind of deal with these emotions. Like I think if you people who start that way, maybe they're already aware, having that kind of sense, because not everybody can differentiate the body and the soul. Like if you're thinking about it, you already kind of have some kind of good karmas in your system to be able to think like that. Because everybody wants to know who they are but they don't ask that question. It doesn't come to them naturally, because the ignorance would prevent you from that. If you're already asking that, you will evolve.
Everything is a factor, right? So everything is an indicator. So yes, you can go in random order.
Yeah.
I think we can focus one thing, take it as a one, and then you concentrate on that, then go to the another one. You can deal with every anger, whatever they in you, bad things in you. So focus on one thing, that's what I.
You can focus. It's just every day you can think about all these things. You can even 1 minute thought on how to eradicate your worry or anger would help you. Like you don't have to always focus one thing at a time. Of course, attacking one problem at a time is good, but when you think of something itself, it gives you the strength to deal with it. And you don't have to wait for charity until you reform yourself. Like you can do charity right now. You can go and do like just spend half an hour or something just to go and give it to some people. That will help your introspection very fast to tackle your problem.
No, I'm not talking about the charity, but everyone else, like whatever character you have. So you can change everything in one day.
Yeah, you can't change
what I
everything in
think.
one
You
day.
can focus on one thing. Angry person means tell yourself that you not to get angry. Something like that.
Maharishi says that reviewing is the best. So he given the introspection like in the how to do introspect for each temples, but also like even on a day-to-day basis when you go into the bed, just review the day, just thinking the thought, like then analyzing, take something and say we should have done differently. If you do that like just at 10 minutes every day, when you get in the morning, you will get more clarity. So, and it's not going to happen in 1 day or 2 days. For somebody, like it might take 6 months, somebody it might be taking 1 year. But as you get into that practice, you will get more clarity and everything will be coming to you.
I think, like she said, once you have some burst of awareness, I'm sure not everybody is aware 100% of the time. So there are glimpses of time that you are unaware of the fact that superconscious is soul and it's all one and the same and everybody is same. If you have that awareness, whenever you in the time space you're not, you take all those KPIs and try to analyze. It may be one at a time, but once you're aware, you can recognize, oh, I made that KPI a little lower today, I need to increase it more, kind of thing.
Awareness is the key. It opens up unlimited possibilities. Right? Without awareness, you will not be able to deal with it. Awareness is the key.
Do you know what Maharshi thinks of Ramana Maharshi? Like, you quoted Ramana Maharshi too, the ego part.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, but all these things have talked about ego and both all have the same kind of. This is focused on jnana more, less on bhakti, more on jnana, wisdom, because they believe that for this age, jnana is important. It can bring together everything and solve the world's problems. Previously, people have not evolved and understood things, but now over the period of evolution, consciousness has developed itself, At this time, you can not question a lot of things. Only Jnana will be able to kind of answer this. So everything is there in the ancient science, so that can come and give answers. So each of them have their own contributions. Ramana Maharishi dealt a lot of on self-inquiry and self-ology. Maharishi, Vyasa Maharishi dealt on family harmony and different technologies, simplified Kundalini as a different technology, and he also kind of took the Siddha tradition, basically. Siddha tradition of medicine and also longevity. All those he follows the Siddha tradition, like Tirumula, all Siddhas. He followed that tradition. But both of them talk a lot about ego, who am I? Most of the stuff.
I'll tell you what is very hard for me.
Okay.
It's like the way that we think that achievements, what we call achievements in our life, it's very much ingrained in all of us. We think that, okay, getting a job and moving one level up in the job, or like, a kid getting into a good college. That's what we, at least to me, most of us think as achievements. Progress or achievements in our life. And we think that everybody is working towards it. And if we don't do that, we think that, okay, we are not doing enough in our life, or we are not doing the right things in our life. And we keep on doing only those things. And when we start thinking about the other way, like you are explaining, where the real happiness is, you think about it, but it's very hard to balance between where we need to work towards happiness versus where we have to work
Family
towards
desires and
family
happiness.
desires, progressing, achieving, or keeping the kids on the right track or family on the right track. So it's maybe we don't have that awareness or that kind of a jnana that we are not able to decide which way to go. But it's very hard. Every day when I think about it, I'm like, okay, I'm still in that kind of a state where I'm not clear what to do.
Yeah. The due to the society is important, right? Like it's important to kind of bring up the children and make them be able to handle this society like their own. So it's a duty for us as parents to be able to do that. So Maharishi said that the best place, or even the toughest place, is in the family, but it is the best place to be able to achieve spiritual progression. Because you are not giving away your responsibility, yet you want to know who you are. And in that space, if you are able to showcase all these things, then you are creating a society from within your family. Start from there, right? All these things should be, if you are doing these charities, your kids will follow through, and their kids will follow through. That's how we create the revolution. So that's the place to kind of do these things. You don't have to go outside and do it, right? So then the transformation automatically happens. Everything will fall into place. When you do all these things, nature will guide you in the right direction. Like if you're trying to, let's just try a few things here consciously, and you will see a difference. That's what the poem says, Sollal mattum nambade suyama sindithe telivai, meaning just do not believe in it. Just by self-inquiry, study and contemplation, realize the truth yourself. You will find the truth. You will hit the truth. Small things would kind of give you an indicator of how things are going. Start blessing people like you have a conflict. That will bring about a change. It will happen. These things, we are all part of the nature, and thoughts have a lot of power, and start from the thought, that itself will be really, without expectations, nature will give back.
Instead of she's feeling, I didn't achieve anything, but she is working on it, but she didn't see what she's working on. She is improving, But she has to think about what she improved from what that stage before, and you must work on that. But you can see what you improved, but you still keep working on it.
And it's not like a one day to
One
other
day, yeah.
other day change.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to be conscious on little things, it will be a slowly progression, and some you will not be able to recognize that.
Yeah.
But when you go for a little long and then look back, you will see that changes happen.
Yeah, that's
So like even Maharishi says, like that's another key. Like it's not that you have to leave the family and go out and do the spiritual and things. It is you have to be within the family, because that is your duty, because you are your family, and your whatever the role is, you have to do that. You cannot move away from that and get a spiritual. That's the reason like he combined both spiritual and family. But you don't need to focus that I have to leave everything and do this. It is like if you start doing that, that progression will be happening.
Yeah, so it's already in yourself, the achievement of, that's what you wanted. But every day you will be improving.
So the key performance indicator should not be necessarily the promotion, the money, or the thing. You need to think a little bit beyond, and whatever those KPIs can be effective everywhere you are, right?
Yes.
At work, when dealing with kids, or dealing with your boss or subordinates, and so compassion and all the KPIs. So basically it's across the board. So then, like you said, it automatically reflects into your interaction in the workplace or family and things.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Knowing
feel,
it is
you
one
shouldn't
thing,
feel
but
bad.
putting it practice is another.
You shouldn't
So
feel
that's
bad,
why we
then
need
that
to
will
effort.
bring you down, so you won't achieve, that's the way you feel it.
Like since we have grown up in that environment, so that will be the things we will be thinking about it. But as we progress, we will be having, like maybe we may not see the change in our life, but that will give the change to the kids. And like that's the Maharishi says that the thoughts are living for 120 years, the thoughts will be living. So like one example he says, like, oh, why you are thinking about world? That's what the people ask him, like, why you are thinking about world? Like from being in one corner of in the world, he started World Community Center, and then people ask, like, why you are thinking about world? Like, if I start thinking about it, it may not happen in my lifetime, but it's surely that thought will be making the world to change and make the world to peace. So that's what we have to like. We have to think about. We are trying to be good for our life. Maybe we may not see everything like what we are, like again we are having a perspective of what that change should be. The changes may not be visible, and it will be happening as we go. That's what like Maharishi says.
I'm not understanding the question clearly, but I thought like she asked about within the family, like maybe, the conflict of following someone else's expectations, like, as a daughter, they want you to do certain job and you want a certain income, or, as a family, like maybe if a wife also works, they can take this many vacations or save this much, and these are like, are the other kids go to maybe 3 or 4 extracurricular activities, and she feels supposed to do all those, and also want to be spiritually meditative and love and kind and give. But where is that one person, like you said, family harmony, and within that, am I following somebody else's goals? Or am I following someone else's goals, or is it important, like, and I want to be within the family.
Yeah, so, I mean, these things will happen in the family, right? Everybody will have different things, right?
Yeah.
So, this is what Maharishi recommends, right? You will, in a family setting, you need to follow adjustment, tolerance, and sacrifice. When you do that, these are good deeds actually. These will clean up the karma and your family's karma too, so to allow you to progress together. So you will have to, maybe if your husband or your wife says, just do not go meditation and all that, this crap you're teaching. And if it creates a conflict within you, just focus on that. And maybe at some point, the other person realizes is important for this growth. But do other things, right? It doesn't stop you from doing. Stop your thought. Thought is always there. It's a powerful thing. It will come to fruition. It will. You don't have expectations, but it will change. The more and more you practice, you cleanse yourself, more and more things around you will fall into place. Blessing. There is no need for anybody's permission. You bless. Start. If you cannot do anything else, start just blessing the person, the family, and thought process will change.
I should appreciate and thank this group because we all, I have known this before, but after I come in here, the simple sentence like I myself will not harm anybody physically or mentally, that one sentence, like even when I'm like, it may sound very silly to you all, but when I get very angry or feel like I have to throw a harsh word at my son or my husband, if this comes to my mind and if I can remember it, that reduces the anger and helps me. And then after, if I think about it, I feel happy that I'm improving. By coming here, that this one sentence is helping me. So it's.
Be blessed for everyone. Yeah, I mean,
taking the introspection courses.
Not really.
You should sign up.
I should, yeah.
any other questions?
Just one comment about the blessings, and blessings has double benefit. One is when you are blessing, you are not wishing bad things. When you are wishing bad things, like Professor Ravindan says, it comes back to you. So you are stopping something coming back to you by not wishing bad. By blessing, you will not wish bad. So it's kind of double benefit you're getting.
We always get what we give.
Yeah.
So one example I would say is like I think the last 2 weeks it happened. If you work in a software company, I don't know how many work there, but you have a lot of production issues. I am a manager of a team, like 10 people work for me. So of course, in a production situation, your nerves go up. Like a lot of people come and ask questions. So one time I was